You are tuned to Kennett Zenith Cablevision. Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for talk.
For a long time, I've wondered about ancestry. Where did Grandma and Grandpa come from? Where did they live? And all of this thing. And I've been aware that at the Dunklin County Library, there is a group called the Genealogy Society or Committee or whatever. They meet once a month. And they are into research big time that you wouldn't even imagine could be done here in Dunklin County. And we asked Tony Byrd. In fact, he's always in this room anyway. Anytime I walk in the library, Tony's here, and he's back in this room. Do you call this the genealogy room, Tony?
This is the genealogy department.
Okay,
yeah.
And all of these books. Do you know what's in everything here?
Not everything.
Well,
I know which areas have the information from different parts of the country. We have information from all over the United States.
Okay, so
we have census information from all over the United States.
Okay.
We have information from like Missouri,
okay,
Arkansas,
so you can help
by the
people
state.
know where. Now, what he said to me was, when I said I'm interested in some research on ancestors, he said, you write me out the name of your grandma and grandpa and anything you know like that, and I will begin. So I wrote this out, and I did my mother's mother and father, my grandparents, whom I really didn't know, the man. And I wrote down his date of birth. James Britton Dial. They're both Zenith people, and a little bit of Cardwell. James Britton Dial and Melinda Estep, and I didn't even know the date of birth for her. And tell me what you do when somebody comes to you with that.
All right.
What's the first thing you do?
The first thing I do is look and see if there's a death certificate. And if I can get the death certificate, I can find out the date of birth, the date of death.
How do you do that? How do you get a death certificate?
There's a website in Missouri. If they died in Missouri, there's a website that will show you the date.
So it helps to know where they died.
Yeah, and most of the time those death certificates give you their parents, their grandparents, or it gives you information about them.
Okay.
So then you can go back a little bit further. On this one, I normally search through Ancestry, and when you search through Ancestry, basically all you do is go to the search mode in that program. And
this is what you show people,
right,
how to find the death certificate first.
Well, actually, to find the death certificate is not a bit, that's a minor thing.
Is that easy? Always easy? Nowadays it is.
Only if they died in Missouri. Now, if they died in Paragould, Arkansas, then I've got to go a different route.
Well, doesn't Arkansas have the same kind of thing?
Arkansas does not have death certificates online. Very few states have online death records.
Really? Really? So
now, the lady that brought the death record information as to the websites in the different states, that's a very helpful tool. Like Memphis has a website that you can go to find deaths in Memphis.
So the very first thing you want to look for is a death certificate.
Well, death certificates do 2 or 3 things. They can get you a way to find the obituary. When you find the obituary, that obituary usually says that their parents' name, where they came from, where they were born,
Okay.
All of that
Okay,
information is
yeah.
usually in
And
the
that's a good place
obituary.
to start. Is that where you started with?
Now, yours specifically, you gave me an exact date, so all I did was put that name into the computer.
I didn't know if I really spelled the word Britton, James Britton, correctly.
Well, census takers make big mistakes, so most of this information comes from census information. And then what you do is you put in a date of birth, and his date of birth was 1845. And he was born in the USA, and then you put in the state that he was born in, which was Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee.
So you drop down to Tennessee, and then you go over here and you put in the date of death, and he died in 1916. And he died in the United States in Missouri. And then when you bring that up, then it will bring up all of his records that they have on him, which when it comes up, and sometimes it's slow. You've got him here in a 1880 census in Salem, Dunklin County. You've got him in 1910 census in
Buffalo Township.
Buffalo Township, Dunklin County.
Okay.
Then you got where he's buried at on Find a Grave. It tells you the date of birth.
There's a site called Find a Grave?
Right.
Okay.
And that gives you the cemetery. Now, the more information you get into other Dials. Now, it shows that James Dial's father was William W. So, and where I normally go when I first put that in is to what it says, family trees right here. And then you've got, this is where other people have researched.
So you have the benefit of a lot of people's
A lot of
records.
other people's research.
Oh, okay. All right.
And those people can give you the records of where they are. And then go to this one right here, just for an instance.
And then you go to the marriage records.
All right, then this gives you this information that I've got right here. You can print that off, and then you've got a copy of it, and it tells you.
Okay, here's the 10 kids.
Now that one is a different dial.
Well, I see Pearly Bay and huh?
This is not the same website that this one was on.
Okay.
This is under the Dial family. So I'll go back and find that Dial family. Dial family, right here it is. Yeah. That gives you all the same information you got on that sheet there.
Okay.
It gives you all the children, when they were born, when they died. It gives you the parents, his parents was David Dial.
Now, is this just within the past few years that all this information has been available? Has that always, in 1930,
over the years, they've improved this website and changed it.
Have you seen a big change since you've been doing this?
Every bit of it's changed in the last year. They've changed the format of it. Some of the things that Jane did for you on the back generation of your family, it's in a different format than this is.
Okay, all right. Now, I noticed that you talked about that big dial over there that people come in and look up things on, and you said you show them how to use. What is that thing?
All right, that will read. That's the death certificate I was talking about right there.
And that will read like this death certificate.
That's the death certificate.
And you can pull that up on that machine over there.
No, I pulled that up off this on the Missouri death records on the computer.
All right.
What I do is go over to the newspapers over here, and I pull out the 1916 year.
In the newspaper.
In the newspaper. When you pull that newspaper out, then there will be an article in there that will come up like this one right here.
J.B. Dial dead. January.
Oh,
Okay. Born Henderson, Tennessee, 1845. Came to Dunklin County, 1873. Oh, I say married Melinda E. Step. Boy, wealth of information in this.
You find a lot of your information in here. Now, sometimes they don't give the parents, but it does tell you that he was born in
Henderson County, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, yeah. All right, now, we as kids heard reports of Civil War activities, where he was wounded on his arm and so forth.
Well, what you do is when you get back to that, you work back into this area here, and they've got a section on military.
Oh,
So you pull
okay.
up the military records, and then it gives you all of the information on.
Oh, okay.
I think yours was in Tennessee, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. The Forest Cavalry. Nathan Bedford Forrest. Now, what is this where they said sometimes the records are incomplete?
The information you'll find out, you can go and look for widows' pensions from the Civil War. They'll bring back the widows that received the pensions from the Civil War.
Okay.
Or they have pensions that the veterans had from the Civil War.
Oh, okay.
And we have that in our book.
So you have do you have a certain section?
That's area over here from the Civil War area.
Okay.
And there's an area over there that has all Civil War information.
Okay, all right. So,
But you just have to work back and forth to different areas and put them all together to make it really what you come out where you want. And your family goes back to England, and this was the
to England?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he goes back to Henry Arthur Dial. And he was born in Oxford, England, but he died in North Carolina. So he came over, and you can probably find out what boat he came over on. There's just several ways you can do it.
All right. So
what I try to do is start people, get them interested enough that they will search for just get them, give them the...
well, they may say, where are Civil War records? And you can just, you point it out to them and then show them.
They can research the different areas that they want to
Can they sit here and look at this machine, or do they need to do that at their own? Well,
Now,
they can't take these records out, can they?
None of these can be taken out of the building, no.
Okay.
These records in here are all staying here.
I heard somebody say they walked off for a while, and they had to forbid people
Somebody decided that they want it more than the library needs it.
Oh, okay, okay.
But as far as this website, it's a pay website. Now, there's several ways to do it. Usually,
so they pay for this website? The library does?
No. This is a personal website. Now, what we do is we kind of alternate around and use it.
Can you see that?
But what it does, it gives you a place to get started. We don't use it as a site to put our information on.
Okay.
It's just a research tool is all it is for us.
So when they come in, they can sit down here?
If they're a member.
Okay. Now, this is the reason you need to be a member of this genealogical society. Besides, I can tell they thoroughly enjoy this.
Well, everybody enjoys looking and researching.
That is great. That is great to have all this. The single best tool that you have in research, what would you say if they come in? What do you use more than anything in this room?
The newspaper records. We have newspaper records that go back to 1891.
What was the name of the paper in 1891?
It was called the Kennett Clipper. As long as you put in where you receive that information, if you get an article out of the Dunklin Democrat, as long as you put the Dunklin Democrat in there, you're all right. You just got to give them credit for their article.
Okay. All right, so
And
the
that's why a lot of
newspaper,
times-
and that's what you pull up over here.
Well, see, it's like any time we do an obituary, we put down where it came from, the date of the newspaper and what page it was on.
Oh, okay.
As long as you give them the
This.
credit
Yeah.
for
And
their
that-
information, you don't have to. And they charge 10 cents a copy to print whatever article you pick out.
Or you said you could send it to yourself?
Send it to yourself through an email.
Well, we could sit here and talk for the rest of the day, but it's lunchtime, past lunchtime. Thank you for letting us come in and bother you, and you may have a whole lot of new business because of this, but come to the library. Come into this room. It is a wealth of information. You will enjoy everything you see and learn.
But if you need help, we'll always be here to help.
Good point.